Hello, my name is Rekutsko and welcome back to Break Chance Memento. It's been a little bit since I played this game, as I said in the last episode actually. It's been like, I don't know, probably 3-4 days since I played this game. But you guys really don't need to know that. It's not really a big deal, because I'm still getting into the storyline. So, let's just go ahead and jump into it, because we know what happened in the last episode. We all were starting to get along a little bit better, and things were sort of going okay for now. But I'm pretty sure very soon we're going to see some turnarounds here. So, with midterm exams looming on the horizon, everyone in the dorms is in varying states of panic, except, of course, Natsume, who naturally doesn't give a damn about exams, which doesn't surprise me, of course. Why wouldn't that not surprise me? Shuki and Chiaki are both holed up in their room after school studying separate things. Oh cool, so he's actually studying now. After a few hours have passed, Shuki looks over and notices that Chiaki's on the same exact page he was on when they started. Uh-oh. That's not good. He's still in a bad mood. I bet it has something to do with the fact that he's been going to his grandmother's house all the time. I wonder what that's all about anyway. Chiaki has made it clear a couple of times that he isn't willing to talk about it. Shuki has no choice but to leave him alone. Well, why the fuck not? The next morning comes like most every other day. Shuki gets up and after getting ready, blah blah blah, he meets with his brothers. Chiaki and Yukinari go to school group doesn't always go to and from school together, but as they've gotten to know each other better, there's been a growing sense of solidarity. Blah 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 blah. Whoa, Jesus, this is crazy. Craziness, I say. Everybody's in the same place. Chiaki's mood seems to be affecting everyone else as well. Even Yukinari is silent as a grave. Wow, that's surprising. After a few minutes of walking, Chiaki speaks up. Oh, yeah, before I forget, I'm going somewhere today after school, so nobody wait up for me. Visiting your grandmother again? Is she alright? For the last time, she's fine. We've really just been talking. And anyway, I've actually got to go somewhere else to go today. Blah blah blah. Where are you going? It's none of your business. Sorry, that came out wrong. Don't worry, I won't be out for very long. That's not what I'm worried about, but okay. Though he's a little uneasy about it, Shuki immediately drops the subject, and the others do the same. Ultimately, sorry, I effed that up. I'm really not going to try and stutter over a whole bunch of words anymore. I don't really care, as long as I'm getting the context of it. The rest of the day passes us by uneventfully, and there I go, fucking up words again. The rest of the day passes by uneventfully. Almost everyone's on the edge because of midterms approaching, but Shuki's on edge for totally different reasons. He's really worried about Chiaki, dude. I mean, there's something going on there, and it's effed, man. I have a bad feeling that something's gonna happen. The killer's been quiet for too... Oh god, please don't tell me that something's gonna happen to Chiaki. Dude, if something happens to Chiaki, I'm gonna be pissed, man. He sees the kiosk left him in it. I hope the killer doesn't try anything until after next week. With exams coming up and Chi-chan being so down in the dumps, I have enough to deal with. Yeah, dude, seriously. Like, something's obviously going to happen, like, tonight, I'm sure. After a particularly rowdy outing with his classmates, Shuki heads back to the dorms in a daze. After changing his clothes, he collapses onto his bed, almost instantly falling asleep. When I wake up, something's gonna be effed. His sleep is fitful and he has the impression that he's being chased. Oh, jeez. Shuki! Uh-oh. Oh, shit. What are you doing in my... Have you seen Chiaki? What time is it? Isn't he sleeping over there? Would I be waking you up if he was? Nobody's seen him since we were at school Jesus Christ, I knew they were gonna do this to me! God! How was I going to... How and why? How and why? How and why are my two main questions here on why things have to go wrong. What the hell is going on in this world? I have a bad feeling that something's gonna happen. The killer's been quiet too long. Be careful. Shuki thinks back to Kiosk's message. Oh, God. Dude, calm down. There's no way. What are the chances that some random killer wants to go for Masani and Chi-chan? It's impossible. Isn't he at his grandmother's? Maybe he had to stay the night for some reason. You think so? I wonder. Well, you're probably right. Now I feel stupid for panicking so much. What are you doing up so early anyway? Well, yesterday Chiaki seemed really down, so I thought he might be feeling worse today. so I thought I'd come in and check on both of you, but then I realized he wasn't here. You can already ask around, but nobody's seen him. So I wanted to ask you guys, well, you live together. Sorry, I got back late last night and I was so tired I fell asleep on the spot without thinking much. I don't even know if he was here when I came back or not. It's okay, you were probably too tired. You're probably right, anyway, I'm just worrying too much. Why did that skip automatically? I didn't even click, I swear. Well, I guess I should go and get ready for class. I hope he shows up. Chiaki gets out of bed and tries his hardest to ignore the growing feeling of dread making its way into his gut. He does tend to worry, but why do I get the feeling that he might be onto something this time? Oh god. The first day Chiaki's missing, no one thinks too much of it. Maybe his grandmother is sick, maybe there's important business. That's what everybody thinks. Then 2 days pass, then 3 days, then 4. People begin to wonder, why would someone as studious as Chiaki miss midterms? What could be more important to someone than trying to get good and do university? When the school calls Chiaki's grandmother to check up on him, however, she insists that he isn't there. Gossip intensifies, with everyone pointing fingers. Why are you pointing fingers at people when you should be out looking for the damn kid? By the time October 19th rolls around, it's been a week since Chiaki's disappearance. He doesn't answer his phone, and since he didn't even tell Natsume about where he's going after school on the 12th, no one has any idea where he is. Chi-chan, where are you? Shuki's just as lost as everyone else. Dude, come on. A cold white hand reaches for him from under the water once more. Shuki surrenders himself to her and falls over the side of the bridge, no longer caring what happens next. There is no oxygen. There is no feeling. The water embraces him, surrounds him. Around him, the water's color slowly takes a hint of red. This is the same dream, dude! I'm here, where are you? This is the same dream. The bridge, the bridge, the bridge! The bridge where the killer was before? Darkness presses in from all sides. I gotta go to the bridge, man. Shuki awakens with a start, his body covered in a thin layer of cold sweat. For the first time since these dreams started, his mind is completely clear, but the implications of the dreams weigh heavily on his heart. Why is it every time I have these nightmares, something bad happens? Is this an omen or a warning? Outside, rain is falling and the wind is howling fiercely. When did these dreams start? What do they mean? I have a feeling that they started at the same exact time that his twin died. And I think it has something that points to that. I don't know. There's so many questions that I have and they're not getting answered. Shuki has no idea, but one thing is certain. Something awful has happened. And Shuki's heart tells him that it's related to Chiaki. Yeah. The 20th is a Saturday. And it's also the last day of the exams. In a daze, Shuki can hardly remember how he did on his test. Probably not the surest sign of excelling, but he figures he's got more pressing matters to worry about. After the school lets out, Shuki finds his brothers near the lockers to tell them to leave without him. I've got something else to do today, so you guys go ahead. Are you sure, Shu-chan? Yeah, I'll see you back at the dorms later. Don't stay out too late partying just because exams are over. Yeah. Shuki says goodbye to his brothers and leaves the school. Dude, this is ridiculous, man. Partying, huh? Wish I was actually in the mood for that. Shuki decides to walk around the town to stave off his restlessness that he feels. Perhaps, Shuki thinks, he is searching for something, though he is still not entirely sure what that something is. He's going to the bridge, right? Dude, there has to be something here. Shuki approaches the Megain Bridge absently. He doesn't have a real destination in mind, and yet, somehow, time and time again, he's drawn here. Someone else. The words come unbidden to his mind, and Shuki feels a solid sense of dread form within him. This place is just full of bad memories for me. Aside from meeting kiosks, there's nothing good ever happened here. Then, as he approaches, he notices a crowd forming in the middle of the bridge. No. Chiaki approaches him cautiously and tries to see what everyone's looking at. Even though he can't break through the crowd completely, Shuki sees more than enough through the gaps in the crowd. The horrible feeling he's been having turns into palpable disgust and despair. A woman Shuki doesn't recognize wails as she reaches for Chiaki's mangled body. The world around Shuki begins to spin. Let go of that body! What have you done? The crowd becomes agitated as the people push around each other out of the way to pull at her. Though her grip is iron tight, eventually someone calls the police. When the officers arrive, they battle their way through the crowd and they finally wrench Chiaki's body away from the distraught woman. Shuki feels sick. He begins to struggle to stand, feeling as if the ground has been pulled away from beneath his feet. Dude, I knew it. I fucking knew it. The woman who had been clutching Chiaki is now shrieking at the top of her lungs as she sobs. Oh, jeez. Over the next 48 hours, Shuki has no idea what to think. Investigators are bewildered by the case, but the public seems convinced that the woman, though no one knows who she is at first, killed Chiaki. After all, why else would she been where she was, holding his dead body? But the woman is soon declared to be mentally unsound, and the investigators hit a wall in the case. She answers no questions and only repeats "given back" over and over. It's then that Chiaki's grandmother steps forward and reveals to the media that the woman is Chiaki's birth mother. Days ago, Chiaki's mother had sent a letter asking to meet with him. Mother and child hadn't met for years and she was desperate to see her son again. Though his grandmother had begged him not to, Chiaki had decided to go. All too late, everything makes sense. Why Chiaki had been in a bad mood, and why his grandmother had been being uncharacteristically nice to him. All these years, as far as Shuki can remember, everyone has been told that Chiaki's mother was dead. He lived with his father when he was a toddler, and his grandparents took him in after his father's death in a tragic car accident. That was all anyone knew. Shuki can't even begin to fathom how Chiaki must have taken the news that his mother was actually alive and, after all this time, wanted to meet him. The police, not so easily moved, demanded to know why Chiaki's grandmother didn't come to public about this when he initially went missing. I didn't want to bring shame upon our family, she says, offended by the implication. I didn't think it was important. I didn't think she'd kill him. Though Chiaki's grandmother won't comment on why the two weren't allowed to meet for so long, her vehement condemnation of his mother adds fuel to the fire. Despite the lack of a murder weapon, a circumstantial evidence begins to build up. The murder is the latest media frenzy and all anyone will talk about. Seems straightforward enough to the general public. After years of being kept apart, Chiaki's mother had wanted to meet her son. When they finally met and he had no interest in reuniting with her, she went insane and killed him. At school the Monday following the murder, though exam scores are released and posted, no one is of mind to discuss the tests. The school is buzzing with callous gossip. For his part, Shuki spends the day staring out the window. Did his own mother really kill him? If it wasn't the time traveler who killed Masane. Shuki's not sure what to think. His thoughts keep turning around in his mind endlessly and, he has to admit, pointlessly. I know it might sound awful, but I almost would have preferred if he had been killed by the serial killer. Because then I'd save him in a heartbeat. But now, Shuki's careless thoughts not too long ago, that there was nothing to worry about, that he could just save anyone who was killed, are now like a lead weight on his conscience. I don't know what might happen, I don't know what might happen if I try to save Chi-chan. Will someone else die in his place? If Chi-chan was meant to die, if this was a death that had nothing to do with time travel, I can't fix it, can I? He's tortured by his own powerlessness. On their way back to the dorms that day, everyone is silent. Talking about Chiaki is strictly taboo. When they arrive in the dormitory common room, a number of the other tenants are huddled around the television where another newscast related to the murder is being shown. Shuki's eyes are involuntarily drawn to the image on the screen. Chiaki's mother, haggard-looking, desperate and in despair. Even now, she is still screaming for someone, anyone, to give Chiaki back. Masaharu, looking stricken, quickly goes upstairs without a word. Jesus. Yukinari looks disgusted by their irreverent behavior, follows Masaharu upstairs. Only Natsume and Shuki remain. Then, as Shuki stands there staring helplessly at the screen, Chiaki's mother looks up. Though she is miles away from him physically, her eyes on the television screen catch his. Somehow, deep inside, Shuki gets the feeling that this woman is not a murderer. Anywho. Yes? Natsume replies gently after removing his headphones. Shuki wonders if his brother was even listening to any music. Natsume's voice is soft, and yet resolute at the same time. No. Natsume was closest to Chiaki. Obviously he's trying to deal with stuff right now. So if he's trying to deal with stuff and you bringing it up, it's just not going to help anything. He's not going to give anything to you. Never mind. Why don't you go rest for a little while, Shu-chan? I'll come get you when it's time to eat. He and his brother then parted the stairwell. Shuki reaches his own room in a matter of seconds and stands outside the door feeling uncertain. Being in there has brought him nothing but emptiness since Chiaki's death, but Shuki inhales a deep breath and lets himself in. Nothing has changed, and yet so much has. Shuki still doesn't know how to feel about it all, but he's finally getting a handle on things. I don't know if any of you knows it. Those were the exact words I needed to hear. Chi-chan was really murdered by his own mother. I'll have to deal with that when I get there. But for now, the whole thing is just way too suspicious. I won't be satisfied unless I find out the whole story. Not from bumbling police officers or random people jumping to conclusions, but for myself, with my own eyes. I don't have much time to mess around. I have to investigate now while there still might be something to find. If I wait too long, all the evidence will be gone. And the people will get suspicious if I spend too much time in my room. And he is going to check up on me soon, too. Well, there's no time like the present to poke around for clues. Alright. So before we go ahead and get into that, I am going to end the episode here. Jesus freaking A. I was waiting for the next super freaking crazy emotional episode, because for the past 3 episodes, we really haven't had too much emotional stuff happening, besides kind of like going back and forth between the brothers and the possible sort of kind of romance that Yukinari was stirring up. But this, Jesus freaking A, man, really just brought down it, like, it brought it in hard. Chiaki cannot be dead. There's no freaking way. That is not gonna happen. The killer has something to do with this. The killer has something to do with this, and we are going to freaking find it out. But we're gonna find it out in the next part. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you want to see more content, because that content will be delivered straight to your doorstep. And if you want to see more content, there are going to be links off to the side, right over towards that way, I believe. And you can't really see that, but it'll be off towards that way or that way. It'll be either which way. And click that subscribe button if you feel like you want to. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bro, I hit my glasses again.